scrappy friends. I thought I'd get on real quick and just kind of give you a brief idea of what my thoughts are before I go ahead and start this layout. So this is for the Love of Homemade Kits episode, but I'm also going to be doubling this with double vision because I have a set of photos that I really want to tell a decent sized story with. So I thought that a double page spread would do this better so that I have more space to journal. So one thing I'm going to do, and I haven't quite decided exactly, but I'm going to do an one side for here. And this is where my title's going to go and all my journaling. I'm thinking that I want to add this into the mix of my papers because I really like this black and white. I think it's going to give me the kind of feel also that I want. But I know that a lot of the colors in the kit that I have put together, so a lot of the colors that I put together in my kit, I think are going to go really well with my photos as well. So I'm thinking, and I haven't decided quite yet if I'm going to use this page protector or this page protector, but I really wanted to be able to use a page protector because I have 6 separate photos, and yes, I could just put them on a layout without one. I could even just put them on just like this and journal on the sides of it. I mean, that would totally work as well. Like I could kind of do something like this and cut this in, well, I couldn't cut it in half, I guess. But I could put it in the middle and then have my photos go around it. So that would definitely work. And that is something that I didn't consider much of, only because I really like to have my photos separate. I don't know what it is, but having the photos all together, to me, it just doesn't work. I don't like them touching each other often without some kind of space. But, so I was thinking that either I could use one of these and just kind of do it differently, or just cut off so it's actually like half of the part of this, right? And just have my photos. The only thing about doing that is then I don't have space to journal if I want to say anything about the pictures, right? Another idea that I had, and I'm thinking that I'm going to go with this one, is use a 6-page pocket and then just put my card in here, or my paper, with a picture on it, and then I have room on each one to journal, but then I can also journal on this page too, right? I didn't take any of these pictures and make them big, but I might take another photo that I have. So when I printed off, I guess none of these would work. I was going to say, when I printed off a whole bunch of photos, sometimes I print off different copies, and this one didn't work. And I was thinking, I thought I had an actual Washington photo. But I guess I didn't. So I usually I try to keep a pack of photos that I'm thinking about scrapping in just, you know, one of those old photo cases or folder things. And I just put them all in here, and then, as you can see, I have doubles of some of my photos just because I printed them off on different paper. Sometimes I do like a matte paper, and then sometimes I do it like this. So usually anything that I have separate of, I'll just stick here if I decide that I'm probably not going to scrap doubles. Like I have some Christmas photos here, and these are, like I said, these are all Christmas, so I just stuck them here. I also have just, you know, an array of photos that I would like to scrap, and I just put them, like this one I could do could do that one and put that on this side just so that there is one photo to just kind of tie them all together. I might do that. I mean, I have photos. Some are from here, like this one and that one. And that one, this is from, actually, I could even put like that one on here too. I have pictures from Hawaii. I have pictures, you know, I just have a whole bunch of pictures that I want to scrap, but haven't gotten to yet. So I try to keep them all together, and I will print off more pictures before I go through these. I just kind of like randomly pick some pictures that I think I'll want to scrap so that I'm not just printing pictures to scrap, which I do and I don't mind doing, but I've tried to get into the habit of actually having extra photos in case. So that is my thought process going into this, is being able to have some stuff extra to scrap, or, you know, some extra space to do journaling, and then using a pocket page for the pictures. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put them in this way so that I have the space. And that's where I'm going with that. And like I said, I'm going to be using mostly this kit. I might end up bringing a couple other things in. Like, I know I have some numbers from the Read kit from Allie Edwards, and I know that these are supposed to be for reading, right? All this stuff is reading. Like, this has some lines. I could use those lines for my journaling. Actually, that would be really cool. I don't really think most of the cards and stuff will work, but in my kit, I also got these little numbers, and I'm wondering if maybe I could use the numbers, just number each thing. Like, these are things that I love about Washington so far. So that's kind of just what I wanted to, that's what this layout is about, things that I like about Washington so far, and, you know, just go from there. Keeping it simple, but just having lots of fun. So now I'm starting to work on my layout, and I am thinking about kind of what I was talking about in the video, or in the first part of the video. So I'm just cutting a big chunk of that green tone-on-tone alphabet paper, which I really love. It's from Studio Calico, and it's perfect for a summery layout. And then I'm gonna I pulled out that gingham thinking that maybe that would work because it kind of reminds me of like a picnic in summer. So I'm going with that, and then I'm thinking maybe I'll bring in some of this yellow color for a pop of color, and it reminds me of sunshine. And then I just decide to use just the branding strip, because at this point with that kit, so I'm using the For the Love of Homemade Kits kit that I made for this past round. And if you guys don't know, I also do a series on here called For the Love of Homemade Kits. I'm a little bit behind on the video part. I've actually been doing my layouts, but so I make a stash kit with a recipe that me and a group of other YouTubers, we kind of talk about it beforehand, and then we put our kits together, and then we make some layouts. So that's what that is. And so that's the kit that I'm using. I'm trying to figure out how I can use not all of my kit on this whole spread, because I know that because it's a double spread that it's going to need more papers and all that. And I did think about backing everything up on just that white, but I really wanted to try to use a lot more patterns, because that's one thing that I don't do very often. And
I like to challenge myself with things that I haven't done in a while. So I'm layering those. I'm outlining this, though you really can't see it on the gingham. I should have did it on that green, but I knew that I was going to do some other stuff, so I kind of wanted to leave it open in case I wasn't sure. Now, the photo that I'm using right there is one that I actually didn't show you guys. I printed it. I think I printed it just for this. Well, I took it earlier, but I had printed it because I was like, you know what? I really like this photo. I've been just playing around with taking photos outside, especially now that the end of the summer is here and stuff is starting to turn. And I really love this photo of this, I think it's a yellow jacket actually, but this bee type animal insect. And I just love the way that it looks with the leaves. So, and that's a tree that I have in my yard. That is gorgeous. So now I'm just layering some stuff and I'm working on my title. And I know it's going to be a really long title. And that's the nice thing about doing a double page spread that is like this kind, is that you really have a lot of space to just put big titles. Actually, in the past, I made a double page spread that has one side was pretty much all the title. And I took like a poem and I made it into the title. But doing a spread like this really lends itself well to this, because with a pocket page on the other side, I can use most of this if I wanted to for a big title. And I'm sorry that you can't see the top. I didn't realize that it wasn't on camera. I would have pushed it down a little, but right now I just have summer things I love, and I put the love, and then I added another sticker that said love in the O of love. And I had to make the V because that blue Fancy Pants Alpha didn't have a V. I don't know how I used all the V's in it. And then I used those Pretty Little Studio Heather alphas for the about. And I'm playing around with where I want Washington. And of course, okay, so I'm going to lead up to this part here, that I do all of this and I get looking at it, and because I just, for whatever reason, wasn't feeling it. And it looks fine, perfectly fine with that gingham. Like, it really doesn't look bad. Maybe if it was a smaller piece of gingham, it would have looked a little better or something. But I was just not feeling it. And sometimes when I'm just not feeling it, the best thing I can do is start ripping things off. And I do that. Because here I added some washi tape, and I don't end up keeping that. That's from the booklet. I think it's arrows. I really wanted like some extra stuff with that border. I really like how that looks. And you'll see later on in the close-ups and in the other one, I do end up adding stuff there. I just add some of the Ellie Studio type tidbits that they have in their little packs. And it worked really well to just layer a few of those. And then somewhere in here, I start playing with cards. Here we go. So I start pulling these out because I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm going to need a place to do journaling. And with the gingham, you can't see, you're not going to be able to see my handwriting. So unless I do typing, which I don't generally do, I do, but I don't do it very often. It's kind of a lot of work. It's just as easy for me to write it out. And I actually don't mind my handwriting too much for the most part. So I'm thinking, I really like that smaller card there, but it's not very big. And I know that I'm going to have a lot of journaling. So I like this one. It has green in it and the colors that I'm using. But I just didn't like it. I really liked this one, and I thought that that would look really cool if I put them like that, but it just felt off center or something for me. It just didn't feel right, and even with it like that. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll use this Chamel card that says adventuring, but I liked the blue part, but I wasn't so sure about the plain. But for right now, I'm going to stick with this, right? I cut that arrow off thinking maybe I'll use that. I end up putting it up at the top near the photo, near where the tree is. It looks really nice there. The only thing is that the arrows are actually pointing up, which I might have not noticed, except for that some of you guys have some really great comments and mention things that I don't even notice, because I'm a details person, but I'm not a details person that it has to completely like go with the rules of what we do in design. And I think some of it is because I've learned how to scrap, mainly because I've learned how to scrap recently. Those rules of design aren't as prevalent in a lot of people's layouts. And the thing is the rules of design really help tie things together. And I feel like sometimes I wish I understood all that a lot better so that it was second nature. And I know some of it is just from taking classes that I've taken from other scrapbookers who do teach that, like Chamel and stuff, but it takes a long time to get those design principles this ingrained in your brain. So if you don't realize that you're scrapping that way, it's hard to really ingrain them in your head. You just do them because they feel natural, but you don't know why they feel natural. So anyway, that's just a little tangent. I really like that heart that I had near Washington. I use that. So here I'm pulling it up because I don't like it. And I had that other tag underneath it because I really kind of felt like Washington needed something underneath it. But it's just like none of this stuff felt right. And it just didn't feel right. And you're going to see. And I don't show me taking it all off because I did it off camera. I got looking at it and I have a scrappy friend who me and her talk quite a bit, and we kind of, when we have issues with something, we'll be like, and we'll try to get advice. And I was like, I don't like this layout. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should just leave it overnight, because sometimes I'll leave it overnight and I'll come back to it. But that, I just was like, no, I'm going to rip it up. And I took off the gingham, and I moved a couple of things around, and I really like it. It's very simple, so it doesn't have a lot of the layering that I normally do, but because I'm doing so much journaling on it, I don't mind. So here are the cards on the second half, and I do try to do a little bit more layering on this side because I know that I didn't do so much on the other side. But I am trying to keep it really, really simple because I don't want this process to take me like 3 hours. So I found a little journaling tidbit. On every card, I have a circle type element where the number, so I'm using those numbers that I showed at the beginning from the Ali Edwards Read Kit, and which they're amazing and they work really nicely on here. They're really light, but they're just really nice and fun. So I did that first card that had the trees, and I just love it. There's evergreens all over the place. Every picture that I'm using has a white cardstock border around it. That just kind of keeps it all uniform for me. And I ended up using part of that Here and Now card, and I cut out where the circle was, and I'm going to use that as my basis for a circle. The only thing is all the other ones, I believe I punched out like an inch circle, and this is the only one I didn't. So you know, that's the different one. But I did put some tidbit uh, pieces from, I think it's from Jelly Bean Soup, maybe. And then here's another Ellie's Studio card. I used a lot of the Ellie's Studio cards on here because I had that pack in my For the Love of Homemade kits. I'm going to make sure I have linked below the blog post that shows all the stuff in that kit, but also that will be able to link you to all the other ladies who do that challenge with me. And these here are cherries, and on that little sticker sheet there was berry type stickers, so I used some of those, and I'm here deciding that I'm going to add some sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. She has a pack that had red, yellow, and green, and they were pretty much similar colors to what I was using. Mostly the yellows and the greens, and the red just worked really well with the cherries, so of course I had to add it. And later on I'll end up doing all the journaling. Some of them I just have a little bit of journaling, just like a few sentences, and then on the big page I fill that all up with journaling, and I'm okay with that, and I really like the way that it looks. I really love layouts that I can add a lot of journaling and just really tell you stories and tell these fun things. I mean, really, ultimately, this is just a whole bunch of things that I love about Washington so far. I mean, we haven't lived here very long, just in the summer, and I know the winter isn't going to be that great, but I'm just really enjoying it, and I love that I can show that through pictures. And, you know, maybe we can go back later and add to this list of things that we love. That is a picture of a pine cone that actually it was on the day that we went and did our final walkthrough of the house to make sure they were doing everything. And I was outside looking at, we have a big evergreen tree and a blue spruce in our backyard, and it has these big pine cones, and I just couldn't believe how big it was. So I took a picture of it, and I just added some stickers. And then I decided to go out of my kit, but our kit was inspired by Amy Tan anyway, so I'm going to add these Finder Keepers, and I think I used some of the stitched ones too. No. What is it? Finders Keepers, and then the next one after that one, it looks like. So, and at first I was just going to use the punched out, and then I found like a wheel. She has like a pie chart wheel type of sticker, and it was perfect for it because I had thought I was going to be really cool by punching out half a black and white and half of a green one, but it didn't look that great. So I really like that clear transparency type of sticker on it with the green, because it really helps tie everything together. It's really fun. I was looking to see if there's anything else that I could put on there, but I don't think I pick anything else for that. I just left it. And that's okay, because I kind of like that it's pretty simple. And here I got some stuff on the picture from that circle, and that card already said Love Life on it. So I'm thinking of layering the tag, and I didn't quite like just the tag there, so I'm thinking, oh, let's put these sunglasses, because that's a picture of Mount Rainier. You can see it from near where I live. So I wanted to document that because Mount Rainier is gorgeous. And then there's some of these Pink Fresh Studio stickers. The one says with my head in the clouds, and it was perfect, even though there's no clouds, because that's when you get to see Mount Rainier. And I did decide to take that journaling tag off, and I just left the number in the one circle. It looks really cool. I think some people might not. And I'm going to end up using a Spiegelmom Scraps Felty Cloud, a really tiny small one with a staple, and it looks perfect like that. It was the perfect, with those stars, it was the perfect embellishment, just to add something a little simple to that card. So this card has one of the Scraptastic cut apart cards that they had in their kits. This is a really old kit, an older kit. It's not really old, but over a year old. So old. And so now I'm working on the circle. It's just a pink one from some Pink Fresh Studio paper. The paper had a whole bunch of circles on it with different patterns and colors, so it worked perfectly. And then I took out these pink Paisley C'est La Vie stickers. The black and the gold just was perfect for that dahlia. So I have dahlias in my yard, and that is another thing that I absolutely love about Washington in the summer. These dahlias bloom all summer, and they're amazing, and I love it because I can bring them in my house when they get big enough, and I can put them in vases, and I have flowers in my house and flowers outside, and they're gorgeous. I can't wait till next year to like really get them going really good. I don't know what they did to them this past year, so I'm hoping that I can get a few extra more, and I add one of those. I do add sequins to this one, and then I add a little journaling tag from Pretty Little Studios from Marie Pierre's collection. So I will say that wasn't quite big enough of a spot to journal on. I wish I would have just grabbed a bigger one, but I was thinking about leaving that blue and mint and pink card just kind of showing. So I do end up deciding to add sequins to the top one, and I add a little cloud to it too, but I don't know if it necessarily needed any more sequins, but that's okay. And then I decide to add that one tag that I was going to use on one of the cards to the bottom. I just kind of like how it adds just one more thing around there. And then I'm going to add these stickers, and I am almost done. So in a minute, you're going to see all the close-ups and all my journaling. I really love how this turned out. It was a process because that first layout just was not coming together, but once I kind of took it apart, it worked out. And sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes you just gotta walk away and come back to it later. You know, it's not the end of the world if you don't get to finish it when you wanted to finish it, right? So I'm sorry that there was a couple of weeks where I didn't get to post anything. It's been really busy. We started school and I homeschool. So just getting back into the routine of doing videos and doing school has been a process, but I will be back next week with another double vision layout, and I'm excited to keep doing a few more episodes of this, and then I know later I'll be doing another series with some other YouTube ladies too. I hope you guys come back next Saturday for another episode, and I will see you guys around the community, and thank you guys for commenting and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an inspired weekend. Bye.